welcome back to me playing Pillars of Eternity. Last time, we have visited the Temple of Vudika right here, and we've gone to Copper Lane into the sewers. We talked to a necromancer and visited the Temple of Vudika. We freed an Orlan by giving him some money. Stuff like that. How passionate? Oh, we are 2 in passionate already. Oh, Jesus, that's not good. It's fine.
Well,
This time around, we're going to go to Brackenburry, but to do that, I think I need to take that exit over this one. That's not a problem. Let's go!
Of all the things I've gotten used to, food was the hardest adjustment.
I quite agree. Deer Woodens oversalt everything and drown it in sauce.
And they burn out all the flavor. Nothing like a raw deer flank.
So, there's quite a couple of things we can do here. There is, of course, the sanitarium, where we're gonna finish Alaf's quest. There is a graphical glitch over here. There is an inn. I don't think there's anything noteworthy in the inn quite yet. There is some Raymond's Manor, as well as House Dominal. There's also Hadred House, which we should actually visit because Penhelm's quest concludes there. So let's go into Hadred House, which is actually this nice Hispanic-looking building here. I really like it, with a little flag rope thing. I don't know what it's. What is that actually? What is that? This nice little estate has a certain Orlan here named Curran. A link! Yes! I'm certain of it!
Good day to you.
The Orlan man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on an end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers, Cat Noah, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orlan grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it is my job to know these things. You carry the width of ancients. What can you tell me? His ears twitch downward. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunridrow? Show him Penhelm's affidavit. Is this affidavit real? It is signed by you? He holds the page but seems to stare through the words, as if something woven in the fabric of the paper. Kern bares his pointed teeth. I remember Penhelm, a preening peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was the sole descendant of an Adirian general, one who'd fought against Hadred's rebellion. He scans the affidavit. A forgery, and not the first one I've seen. He hands it back to you. But I've no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to the commander, Cliver, and show him to the seal. He points to the wax stamped by his forged signature. If he compares it with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Alaf's gaze flickers to you. Doom a man for the soul the gods gave him? Seems rather unfair. We're gonna return to Curran later. Right now, he cannot give us the quest that he actually gives later, so that is the reason. Let's see what now happens. Oh no, they absolutely know that I stole that affidavit.
How's the hand?
Turning purple. I'd have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
Poor Adair, he got bit by Itumak. Hello, Penhelm. Penhelm's face is white. Just talked to that little cipher, did you? One of my novitiates told me he'd seen someone in the records room. He takes a slow step towards you, extending his hand. Give me the affidavit. I've done nothing to you. His other hand comes to rest next to his sword. Your superiors deserve to know the truth. What truth? That over a century ago I was some Adirian who's dust in the ground now? His hand grips the sword pommel. I'll ask you one more time. Give that back. Don't be a fool, we're in public. He looks at the novitiates with him. Which is why everyone will be shocked to hear that you've assaulted a company of Crucible Knights without provocation, including one with such a spotless record as mine. He did not want to cooperate in my defense, yeah? Yeah, we agree there? Well, let's kill him. Moron. Moron! Okay, well, turn into your thing. There seems to be a cleric here, or is that? Yeah, it seems like a cleric because he's using the ability Durance has and that he's gonna use himself. And let's go with some of this bonus. Oh my Jesus, what's happening here? Nothing much for the time being. Attack that novitiate, you can attack there, you can continuously attack that guy, and you can attack that guy. Just attack guys. Guys, attack guys. Okay, for the time being, everything seems to be working out for us. Except for this guy. Going straight at Durance for some godforsaken reason. Hey! Murder him! Oh boy. Penhelm is still alive. What is Penhelm still doing alive? Mark him! Well, that guy can attack. You know what? Durance can take it. He is a big man. He's a grown-up. There you go. Let's also kill everyone. Bam. I don't know if there is a distinct disadvantage for using ranged weaponry in melee. It doesn't seem to be any. There doesn't seem to be any. So that's pretty good. There we go. You know what? He deserved that. And we get Osric's family breastplate. This old breastplate has its share of battle scars, but it's clearly been well preserved over the years and still bears some of its original shine. The symbol of a flame is emblazoned across its middle. Emblazoned? Emblazoned? Well, there goes our level. But I'm not gonna stop and level up quite yet. I'm gonna wait until everyone in the party levels, which is gonna be considerably soon, I feel. So we're gonna go next to House Dominal. This is one of the three factions of Defiance Bay, one of the three factions, the one that actually is a criminal organization, a criminal family, if you want.
Hail and well night.
Of course, we don't know that. The burly guard eyes you warily. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Dominal? House Dominal. I found a letter that might be of interest to someone here. Which is the letter we found in the unmarked house in Copper Lane. I see. Right this way.
Whatever crimes they committed, their interior decoration is impeccable.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that. It's a pretty little sweet house here they got going. And when I say sweet little, I mean pretty goddamn big overall. A young man leans against an expensive-looking gold glass cabinet. He holds a jewel-studded goblet in one hand and an ornate pistol in the other. He grins with wine-stained lips.
Our doormen seem to think it important that you meet with me. Speak.
I found a note that may interest you. As Aberkan reads the letter, his curious smile fades and the page crumples in his grip. His twisted lips are as cold and dark as the amethyst lining his cup.
You'd better explain yourself, and quickly.
I was attacked in a house in Copper Lane. I found this letter after I finished my assailants, which attacked me once I entered their house, and I totally entered their house uninvited because I did not knock on the door, but they did not know that, because they're dead. Wine splatters the mirror-smooth tiles as Aberkan hurls the goblet. He smashes the carved handle of his pistol into the antique cabinet next to him. The men standing nearest look from Aberkan back to you, their hands ready over their weapons. Criminal indeed. No one should waste good red like that. Adair whispers to you. Maybe you should pay him a compliment to help patch things up.
You've killed my men and cost me. but I'll give you one chance to make up the loss.
Of course you will. You may have to overcome certain compunctions, but you'll finish the job I gave my men. Certainly. Why didn't you mention you were hiring? His smile is dangerously thin. This is a command, not a commission. Do this, and I'll overlook your blunder. Lord Raymond has a gem the size of an Amawa testicle. It's called the Heart of the White March. One of my contacts will leave the second-story window open. I want you to sneak inside and find the gem. Whatever you do, do not alert Raymond's guards. The last thing I want is a blood feud with my neighbor. I trust we are crystal clear on that. He takes another sip of wine. Didn't he just throw the gun? If there's nothing else, be on your way. What is this place? You are standing in the Dominal's ancestral manor. You're either very lost or wasting my time. Farewell.
Well?
Did everyone level up? Taxes collected. 300... What? 300 lost to bandits. Jesus, people.
Well?
So, the house in question is Raymond's Manor right here.
Of course.
We are going to head that way and spot an open window on the second story floor. Second story. Not second story floor. That makes no sense. Second story or second floor or first floor after the ground floor. This is the window, guys. Let's check it out. The mortared stone wall is sheltered by the eaves. A knotty green vine climbs all the way up to an open window. Two ornate shutters seem to beckon you in. Toss a grappling hook to the window. You cast your grappling hook and it catches on the windowsill. The rope remains taut as you pulled your weight on it. Let's climb the rope. Bracing your legs against the wall, you climb the rope. You perch atop the windowsill and steady yourself against the frame while the breeze cools your back. You detect movement inside the house. Blinking as your eyes adjust to the dim interior, you slip inside the manor. Alright, so what is the catch of this quest? Well, there is this room which is completely safe for us to go around with. The problem is the Heart of the White March is in a room, in a trapped chest in a secret room up here. How do we get there? Well, we have to go through a hallway and there are guard patrols around here. So we need to be very, very cautious not to get spotted. Like right there. There are two guards. One goes up, one goes down. We do not want them to spot us at all. Even that means the red spotting meter. Circle filling, whatever you want to call it. There usually is a very small
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
opening to pass by, which would be right now, I feel. Okay, so let's go into the secret room here. Quickly. I don't think you need any sneak skill to do this. Right here is the safe spot. The guard will not spot me. There is a locked chest there. It doesn't really require a high mechanic skill, really, but still. And there is this trap which we cannot disarm. Even if I level up Aloth right now, it will not give me enough mechanic skill to disarm it. Okay, both guards pass by. We're gonna unlock this chest now.
The work of a moment.
Which has indeed a large shield. We're gonna save now. We want to make absolutely sure that there is not gonna be anything else. To this point, we're gonna send around Sagani to spot where the current guard positioning is from here. Her sneak skill makes it pretty simple to sneak here, yeah? She has a pretty high sneak skill. She can go pretty close by to them and not get spotted. Okay, so the guards seem to be out. I'm gonna save real quick.
How may I help?
I'm going to trigger this trap.
I shall.
It does a lot of damage. It certainly does a lot of
I
damage.
shall be discreet.
We don't want Aloth to get...
Ready, Watcher.
Excuse me.
I shall.
Ready,
Don't
Watcher.
mind that. It's
Yes?
absolutely fine. We got the heart of the White March, which is the important part. The guards did not spot us. I don't think. If they did, I'm gonna be very sad. But I don't think they did, because there is no longer combat. I think it was just for the sake and purpose of the
I shall.
trap doing the damage. Now both
I'm
guards
here.
are returning down,
Aye.
and I'm pretty sure it's safe for Aloth to move out.
Ready, Watcher.
Yes?
This took me approximately 25 minutes to do, by the way. Oh yes, it was like 9 attempts until we actually successfully did it. It's just for the sake of recording, I want it to look smooth. Fuck my life. Let's climb down the rope now. You climb down out of the window, gripping the rope. You ease yourself down the wall and to the safety of the ground. Good! With the height of the heart of the White March, we'll be able to now deliver to Aberkan, or whatever his name is, Domino. And with that, we're gonna basically get like a nice little, like, you know, payment, and that is the collaboration, the temporary collaboration of House Domino, if we decide to join their faction. Which we might, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, let's talk to Aberkan.
You have something for me, I hope?
Give the jewel. Here it is.
Already? And without so much as a sneeze from the guards next door. Very discreet indeed. This should keep the knights and the dozens in their place. A rare prize indeed. Take this. You've earned it.
3,000 copper.
My father, Gedmar, will be pleased to learn that I've acquired such a gem. And an ally. Go and speak with him upstairs. He's been looking for someone with your skill.
Tell the guards you're a distant cousin. He winks. They'll understand. Farewell.
Well?
Alrighty. Now everyone is leveled up, ready to level up, so we're gonna do that exactly. Completed! The quest completed with 2,000 lots of experience and something that I could not read because the message passed so quickly. We'll check it later on. For now, we're gonna build up some of that. And that's actually fine. 6 stealth is absolutely fine for me right now. Accurate wounding shot. That would give us plus 10 accuracy when attacking with the wounding shot. It has an accuracy versus deflection. So basically, yeah, it just aims for the deflection for the damage. However, hobbled is versus fortitude, and we would get 10 accuracy bonus for both of these attacks. It's not bad, honestly, but let's see the other ones. Swift and steady, 5 accuracy from swift aim. Okay, that's pretty decent. The ranger animal companion gains improved damage reductions against all damage types. Okay, faithful companion is okay, damaged against charmed and dominate attacks. I think I'm gonna go with apprentice sneak attack. More damage for flanked people. Reduce the striker of the sneak attack, taking advantage of opponents when they are their most vulnerable. I believe this means flanked enemies. So in conjunction with wounding shot, that works pretty well. So we're gonna go with that for Sagani. Next up is Hiravius. Hiravius is going to level up his athletics a tiny bit. And his survival a lot bit. He could get... Well, you know what? No, survival he will not need more than that. It's already at 6. Although we could reach 12. Let's go with 12. Let's go for 12. That sounds nice. Greater Wind Strike Burn. It gives us another additional 15% burn damage when we're in Wild Strike. Sorry, I read Wind Strike. When we are in our wild shape, which is not bad at all. I wonder how long does this last? This lasts 15 seconds. We get 3 might, 3 constitution, 25 attack speed, 10 deflection, health and endurance concealed for 15 seconds once per encounter. I think this could work together with his wild strike, and it would be pretty damaging. It would be pretty good. Let's go with Outlander's Frenzy. Alright. Durance is next. Durance is going to level up. He is, well, survival is okay currently. A bit of mechanics and stealth. At least one bit of mechanics. A bit more... You know what, athletics is nice because of second wind. He's gonna be able to heal himself up considerably in case he gets hit. He looks horrible with that helm, I know that. Empowered into third direction gives us +10 accuracy. Foe area of effect 9 to 13 for Holy Radiance. Grants Inspired Flame passive. 10 accuracy with sword or arquebus. I don't know. Alright, Inspiring Radiance. Modifies Holy Radiance to give us a 10 bonus accuracy. What are some of the abilities from the other classes? Apprentice Sneak Attack would increase his damage a tiny bit, but I don't think I will use it. Honestly, I think Inspiring Radiance might be great. Might be just what we seek when we cast that Holy Radiance. Everyone is gonna get hit better, essentially. That's not bad, is it? I think that's pretty good. And we can always change that later on if we want, and if we feel like it. Here, we're going to go with nothing. We're actually going to spend the points next level on mechanics. I think that is the safest thing. As for spell, I kind of like Noxious Blast, but Arduous Delay of Motion is pretty sweet with that minus 30% attack speed, minus 2 speed, move speed for 21 seconds. Noxious Burst, I believe it's not only foe damage, yeah, it's everyone's damage, so our guys would also get hurt. Let's go with Arduous Delay of Motion. As for here, Aspirant's Mark is something that I like a lot for Aloth. A lot for Aloth. The character has attuned themselves to the natural world like a druid and is able to focus its power on an enemy with the effects of Nature's Mark spell. Once per encounter, we can cast an area of effect debuff that reduces deflection and reflex by 8. Accuracy +10 versus will. So they get challenged on their will saving throw or will defense, as the case might be with the Pillars of Eternity. Hey there. You're going to level up your... One more point in survival would be sweet. We're gonna go with that. Bonus knockdown is sweet and everything, but honestly, what is, of these abilities, what is the best one for a tank? None, honestly. None of these abilities are. Bonus knockdown would be one more use of knockdown. We could go with one of these. Weapon focuses. We could go with Hold a Line, which gives us +1 enemy engage, which is pretty nifty. Pretty nifty for a tank. This one's actually just increase your defenses and the wheels and stuff like that. Saving throws, if you will. Utility has its own share. No, we're gonna go with Hold the Line. I think Hold the Line might be good for him. He gets flanked quite often. Finally, my guy. Ho-ho, my guy. We're gonna go with Lore for extra dialogue options, obviously. Critical focus, 5% of hits converted to crits. For our Zealous Focus aura. Untroubled Faith. It gives me 2.4 deflection, 4.0 defenses for Faith and Conviction. So belief become more than just some of his or her action negative reputation that negatively influence Faith and Conviction. So why is this damage reduced? Probably because of my intelligence being low? No, it's not intellect that I lack or something. I don't know. It's probably because intensity of the passive faith deepens, granting them increased defenses bonuses for Faith and Conviction. We don't really need tankiness. We're not really a tank, so that's why I don't really make a mess out of me being incredibly passionate about my dialogue options, despite the fact that my Paladin Order is against passionate interactions. We're gonna go with Outlander's Frenzy too, because lots of damage is good. Great! Fantastic, we leveled up. So now we're all a bunch more tanky, as you can see, 124, 163, 96, 120, 111, 106. Kana has finished his quest, so let's check actually the hold menu. The keep menu, or the stronghold menu, whatever you want to call it. Stronghold centers. Alright, let's read this. We read that part. Venturing into the depths of the White Reed Well, Kana discovered that while the foundations of the well were made of a living Adra, the sources of the sounds were wicks that had been dropped into the well by their mothers. In a total, a dozen women from White Reed and their surrounding woods had dropped their children into the well after they learned they would turn into wicks. Some had died, but many survived the fall, living on small rodents and other critters that wandered the ruined Ingwithian tunnels underneath the well. Kana was forced to fight the aggressive wight, but eventually emerged and told the village what had transpired. Some of the mothers confessed what they had done immediately, others fled the village. In the end, no one had the desire to punish anyone for what had happened. So we get money, experience, and an item. Swaddling Shit grants recall agony once per rest and grants overwhelming wave when hit by a critical hit once per encounter. That's pretty sweet, actually. We're gonna actually equip that once we get to the keep next. Great! Fantastic news. Can we... no, still... something is still being built, I forgot. Oh, the Warden's Lodge. Fantastic.
Well,
how long have we been at this? I should not actually consider how long we've been at it, because, quite honestly, I have been going on for longer because of all the cuts I will have to make in the bloody video. Let me check real quick. Alright, so in front of the sanitarium here, if you can check here, it's the sanitarium of Brackenburry, the one place where Alice needs to go. There is netting, which we can help right now, actually. A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understand how to reattach souls, we could end Waidwen's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called the Theorems of Pangram. It contains the research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she is not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. That's a shame. She sighs. Anyway, I should probably get back to my work. Alright. Well, we get the quest. We can retrieve the Theorems of Pangram for her right now. And, you know, it is in the archives, the locked archives, that we got access to. So, in theory, we have pretty simple access to the theories of Pangram. But right now we're gonna go into the sanitarium and sort quite a few things up. Now, in here, amongst other things, we're gonna see the head warden, Ethelmur? Warden, an animancer from the... Jesus. Warden, an animancer from the Republic's Bancello, has requested a visit. Extend a formal invitation. See to it that the necessary preparations are made. Of course. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down and blinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Latin Key in your midst. Elmur groans and stones around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am with your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You're at odds with the Latin Key as well, I take it. They have something I need. I hope it isn't knowledge you seek. They are seldom keen to part with it. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here in their offices, or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Farewell.
What is it?
There is quite a few of them here, but the ones we need to talk about, two, are all downstairs, and that's where we're headed right now. Interestingly enough, there is 3 of them, and 3 of them are required for quests that we already have activated. So, where? What? Oh, hello, camera. Now, in this hallway here, there's 4 rooms. The first one contains Belisage.
Good day, stranger.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Eccoci! Here I am looking so hard for answers in my research that I did not see the key standing in front of me. What can I do? She's from the Valiant Republics, obviously. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ah, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You are in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gellarde, who is it? Alot's lips curls into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you have to do is stand in the cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Etherians are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now, they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Alot by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The animancer fastens thick copper bands to Alot's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with other lenses to cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and the densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first, we need to find the cunning interloper. You will answer some personal question while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Alot squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks at you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Alot, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thames family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's battles accumulate like a storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her hemneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. Her hemneg? Hemneg? This is good. I'm starting to see there's something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she's around, he's usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He's furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment, I am sweeping the kitchen. The next, I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my own blood on the tile. His boots glistening with fresh polish thud across the room. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it is pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks, and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Ma dico, Belisage furiously cranks the knob along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with the old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. We can squeeze Al's hand and tell him it's fine. Shake him by the shoulder and say, you have to wake up. Or this is a memory, it isn't real. This feels actually right. It's rational. This is a memory, it isn't real. Alot's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. And with about the rattles you see in the space twixt your ears, they are real enough for you. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it! I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. Is that how you read it? She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices in air. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Perfetto! We have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes into the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Isilmir, tell Alof why you've awakened. Why, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in the shell. Alot's face twists in a fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrists, quill still in hand. Go on! Alot, what's this about setting space to Isilmir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. You should ask what I did that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Alot's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now it was awakening. But now I'm stuck with you, and damned if you let Ninny drag us both through this copper. Hack, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence throughout the exchange. She had particularly high density index during the most heated portion of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That is right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Alot blinks back at you and is in the midst of his perturbation. You're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. It does seem as though she got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Al's right, that's absurd. Isilmir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. Yeah, well, all 3 of these are the same. It's just about how you put it. Isilmir manifests when Alot is in danger under pressure. That seems pretty rational. All of them seem pretty rational. Maybe this one is a bit passionate, isn't it? Because that's absurd! Now, let's go with Isilmir manifests when Alot is in danger or under pressure. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Alot. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this again, other research. He removes the copper band. Well and good for you. But what does this mean for me? Belisaire frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Isolme tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor, or it seems Isolme steps in when she determines that you are in danger. It's not clear whether this is a help or a hindrance. That, I think, is the most obvious one. Although I do think that Isolmir is more of a problem when he just completely shifts personality when we're sneaking into the headquarters of the enemy. But at times it could help. So let's go with this one. It seems that Isolmir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or hindrance. From my position, I say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Boris Waterskin. He does not look at Belsage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of revue, a fentrealot. He grimaces and melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animacy. But what ye have always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belsage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Alice is holding her notes, just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. Fair enough, but do it quietly. He hides the papers in his cloak. Not to worry, we'll see to this on our own. Alrighty. One more thing we're gonna do tonight, or today, whenever you're watching, I guess, is talk to Mudred here. Hello. An animancer scribbling feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Good day to you.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. Does the name Hellig mean anything to you? Mudred starts. Hellig? He is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He clears his throat. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Valian republics. He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you heard? He cuts again. Perhaps you haven't. I heard it differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you, it's in very poor taste. Hellig wasn't joking, and neither am I. Mudred pales. How could... He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Did I just... Oh, I did... Oh, no, I pressed 3 instead of 2. Whoops. Well, I guess that's fine. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls, and what for what? He flayed the essence from the Glenfaden indigents for his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He jabs his finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and seizes you up. Anyway, Now you know the whole grisly story. Helic's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. No doubt. He spreads his hand wide. But now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to. If he sent you, I only hope I can convince you to return and slay him once and for all. Helig said you stole a grimoire from him. Mudred's brow furrows. His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you? Give him the key. He said you kept it in the trunk over there. Mudred takes the key with a trembling hand, his eyes darting to the trunk behind him. You've been misled. There is no grimoire here, and Helig never intended you to find one. That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. He shudders. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once and for all. I will finish him. Mudred nods, relieved. Good, I'm glad someone finally will. I must return to my work. I wish you well. Mudred turns back to his papers.
Yes.
I would continue, but it's been quite a long time already since I started this episode, and I honestly don't know how long the whole thing is gonna be. So I think I'm gonna split the sanitarium part in two, because as soon as we're done with the sanitarium, we'll have a lot of talking with someone. A very, very, very special person in my heart. A very special character in this game. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Until then, be well. Bye! If he compares it to Alad's gaze flickers to you. Doom a man for the soul of the gods who... It's a bad day. Alad's gaze. Jesus. You may have to overcome certain what? A compunction? Is that it? Compunction? Alright. What? The mortared, please. Mortared. I don't even know what that means. Mortared? Alright. Was that highlighted? Well, let's trigger the trap. Please don't die. Well, that was actually pretty well timed there, Mr. Guard. You just appeared the moment you were not supposed to appear. Okay, let's wait for the guard to move out. No. No! No! We gotta trigger the trap, unfortunately, but that is fine. No, it's not fine. It's definitely not fine. For fuck's sake, game. Close the door, will you? Fantastic, fabulous. Oh no! No! Starting to hate this a tiny little bit. Hate this a lot. Oh, for crying out fucking shitbags. Ah! You can do this without any sneak skill. If I wasn't a complete moron and he was not spotting me right now. Fuck! This is gonna make a glorious compilation.